There are thousands of exercises and programs out there, and the problem is that most of them actually work. So you try to do all of them, you get overwhelmed, decide you don't have time for all of this crap, and you eventually give up. I did that for years, until I tried something that felt crazy at the time, because it went against everything the fitness courses I paid for had taught me. I'm Kamil. Over the last decade, I built more strength than I ever thought I could, training just 2 hours a week from home. Now, I'm on a mission to make men strong again. I first noticed that trap in my business. I thought I was lacking good ideas, but the real issue is that I had too many of them. I was trying to chase all of them, so I ended up slow on everything instead of fast on the few things that actually mattered most. So I started looking into why I kept doing that. And it turns out I didn't invent this problem. Of course. There's this idea I learned from Steve Jobs. It's called signal versus noise. Nobody struggles to say no to a bad idea. You see it, you say no, and you move on. The hard part is saying no to a good idea. One you're actually excited about. One that would probably give you some result if you gave it time. That's the thing Jobs pushed his people on. He didn't ask what they had done that day. He asked how many things they said no to. Because every idea on their desk was good. Each would have moved something forward. He just picked the few most important ones and said no to the rest. Those good but not quite good enough ones, that's the noise. And the ones he kept, that's the signal. Once I saw it in my business, I started seeing it everywhere. Especially in my training. You are drowning in good options, so you are trying a bit of everything and you get nowhere. And there is a reason you keep jumping around. Every new program gives you a little hit and you feel motivated again, but that feeling fades quickly. It always does. The thing is, you don't read that as normal. You read it as the program stopped working. So you go looking for the next one to get that hit back. That's why about half of people quit the gym within the first 6 months of joining. It's not that they're lazy, they're just overwhelmed or they're chasing the next shiny thing. And every time you swap your exercises, you pay for it. Because strength is a skill, and the skill is built on repetition. The first 100 reps of a movement, you're just learning it. The next hundreds are where you're getting good at it. And past 1,000 or so, it becomes automatic. That's when you actually get really strong. So if you swap your exercises every month, you're resetting the clock on every one of them and you never reach the part where all of those reps actually pay off. And yeah, more training can get you more result. So if you've got hours to give, you will squeeze out that extra bit. That's why the athletes train so much, right? But if you just want to be strong and get on with your life, that last bit of progress costs way more than it's worth. So what do you actually do about it? To answer that, I'll tell you what I did with my own training. Over the years, I figured out there are some exercises that give me the results of many other combined. So I decided to focus purely on this. That's my signal. Then I built them into one system and I locked it in. So I always do practically the same handful of moves with minimal equipment and I train 4 times a week. Now I don't wake up wondering what to do. It was all decided in advance. So I just show up and do the work. And that's basically the entire fix. There are 2 steps. First, you sort. You take everything you could be doing and you split it into 2 columns. What actually matters right now and what just good but not good enough yet. So signal on one side and the noise on the other. I made for you a worksheet to run this sort on your own training. If you want it, it's in the description and I don't even ask for your email. Then comes the second step. Once you've picked your signal, you lock it in, so you don't have to pick again. There's a trick I picked up from this guy Sam Ovens. Before he decides anything, he asks himself one question. How long until I have to make the same exact decision again? Because what do I train today has to be answered again tomorrow and the day after and basically forever. But with a fixed system, you decide it once and you're set for a long time. Deciding every single day is like renting. You pay again every time it comes back around. Deciding once is like buying. It costs you more upfront, but then it's yours. Sam calls this a decision half-life. Go and ask yourself, how long before you need to make the same decision again? I used that exact method on my own training. For years, I did loads of different exercises with no real plan. That was pure noise. Then I cut it down to just a few that actually mattered. That was the sorting. Then I locked those into one system and stopped changing it. I call it the minimalist strength system. It's in my community warrior society if you want it. Today I basically do 4 movements per workout, and that's carrying almost all of my results. My upper body day, for example, is just pull-ups, dips, rows, and push-ups. Simple as that. But here's something to keep in mind. I never said this is the most effective way to train, because it's probably not. It's just how I train, because I don't like to complicate things for no reason. And yeah, now my rate of progress is a few percent slower. But we compare it to back when I trained 4 times more than now. So I get a similar result for a fraction of the work. And that's the whole point. I'm not trying to win competitions. I just want to be strong, look sexy, and still have my evenings, my weekends, and have enough energy left for my life. Cutting all that extra volume gave me exactly that. Now my body recovers faster, and every set gets my full effort, instead of me spreading it thin across 15 different exercises. Because honestly, if I did more exercises, I'd be too beat up to give all of them my best. But I only found my signal after years of trying everything and failing. The cutting came after the exploring, not before. So if you're just starting out, you don't need to force yourself down to 4 exercises tomorrow, because you don't know yet which 4 are the best for you. You explore first, you try things, and then once you know what actually works for you, you cut hard and you lock in.